Opponents humiliated. Poilievre and Kurek stun Canada, with by-election victory live on air. The political winds in Canada are shifting, and the results of the recent by-election in Battle River, Crowfoot have only cemented that reality. Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative leader, joined forces with local MP Damien during a live show to celebrate a sweeping victory that left their opponents in shock. For the Liberal Party under Carney's leadership, this wasn't just another electoral setback. It was a humiliating reminder of how deeply out of touch they have become with ordinary Canadians. The live broadcast amplified the energy of the win, transforming what might have been a routine by-election into a moment of national symbolism. The riding itself has historically been one of the safest Conservative strongholds in the country, but this victory wasn't about margins. It was about momentum. The overwhelming support for Kurek, combined with Poilievre's national presence, revealed how the Conservative message resonates far beyond one constituency. Viewers across Canada tuned into the live show, where both men spoke with confidence, passion, and gratitude, outlining a vision for the country that contrasted sharply with a faltering Liberal narrative. What could have been dismissed as a predictable outcome instead became a powerful political statement. Canadians are restless, impatient for change, and increasingly disillusioned with Carney's promises. Poilievre used the opportunity not just to celebrate, but to highlight the struggles that Canadians face daily. From sky-high grocery bills to unaffordable housing, from an overwhelmed healthcare system to small businesses suffocating under red tape and inflation, his words struck a chord with viewers. He tied these issues directly to the failures of the Liberal government, making the by-election result about more than just Battle River, Crowfoot. It became a referendum on the direction of the country. Carney, who has tried to position himself as a steady hand in turbulent times, found himself undermined by real-world frustrations that his polished speeches could not mask. Damien Kurek's presence added a local voice to the conversation. A second-time MP, he represents not only the deeply conservative values of his writing but also the frustrations of rural communities across the nation who feel ignored by Ottawa. Kurek spoke passionately about the disconnect between city elites and hardworking Canadians in farming, energy, and small-town industries. His words echoed a broader sentiment, that the Liberal government's policies are designed for urban applause but devastate the rural backbone of the nation. By amplifying Kurek's voice on the live show, the Conservatives demonstrated their ability to blend national leadership with grassroots representation, a combination that is increasingly resonating with voters. The timing of this by-election win could not be more significant. Canada is inching closer to another general election, and the Liberals are already struggling with sagging poll numbers. Carney, who took over leadership with promises of stability, competence, and economic growth, has instead been saddled with rising debt, higher taxes, and policies that critics say leave Canada dependent on foreign markets while stifling domestic opportunity. The by-election did not just add another Conservative seat, it amplified the growing sense that the Liberals' time is running out. The energy of the live broadcast also cannot be overlooked. Rather than a sterile press release or a carefully staged rally, Canadians watched Poilievre and Kurek celebrate in real time, unfiltered and direct. This format plays to Poilievre's strength as a communicator. He has built his political brand on accessibility, often taking unscripted questions, engaging on social media, and bypassing traditional media gatekeepers. The result is a direct line to Canadians who feel alienated by the Ottawa bubble. This live celebration was not just about numbers on a board, it was about connecting with people where they are, and in that, the Conservatives outperformed their rivals by a wide margin. For the Liberals, the optics could not have been worse. Carney remained silent in the immediate aftermath, and party surrogates tried to downplay the significance of the loss by pointing to the riding's Conservative history. But the narrative has already shifted. It's not about whether Conservatives could win Battle River, Crowfoot. It's about the scale of victory, the national attention it captured, and the way it fed into a broader story of Liberal decline. When a government starts explaining away defeats instead of celebrating wins, the momentum is already slipping. Critics of Carney note that his background in international finance, while appealing to party insiders, has made it difficult for him to connect with ordinary Canadians. His speeches often lean heavily on global markets, climate agreements, and high-level economic jargon that fails to resonate with families struggling to pay their bills. In contrast, Poilievre speaks plainly, hammering home a message of common-sense solutions: scrap the carbon tax, unleash Canadian energy, and make life affordable again. The juxtaposition is stark. One leader sounds like he's in a boardroom, the other sounds like he's at the kitchen table. The by-election also raised questions about the NDP, who continue to act as junior partners in propping up the Liberal government in Parliament. Despite claiming to fight for working-class Canadians, Jagmeet Singh's party has been unable to turn frustration with the Liberals into electoral success. In Battle River, Crowfoot, they were reduced to irrelevance, overshadowed by a Conservative juggernaut and a Liberal party in denial. This dynamic could spell trouble for Singh heading into a general election, as his voters may conclude that only Poilievre has the strength to unseat Carney and bring real change. Momentum is a powerful force in politics, and the Conservatives now have it firmly on their side. The by-election wasn't about flipping a seat. It was about demonstrating dominance, unity, and vision at a time when Canadians are desperate for leadership. The live show with Poilievre and Kurek embodied that momentum, turning a routine political event into a rallying cry for change. It was an evening that symbolized the frustrations of the present and the hopes of the future, broadcast directly into the homes of Canadians who are ready for something different. The humiliation for Carney and his allies lies not only in the numbers, but in the optics of being outplayed on their own turf. For a government that prides itself on media management and spin, being blindsided by a Conservative live celebration was a painful reminder that politics is changing. People are tuning out polished talking points and tuning into authenticity. And in that arena, Poilievre has the advantage. As the dust settles from the by-election, one thing is clear: this was more than a local story. It was a microcosm of a national shift, a warning shot to the Liberals, and a morale boost for Conservatives who see victory within reach. Poilievre and Kurek not only humiliated their opponents at the ballot box, they captured the imagination of Canadians looking for leadership that reflects their struggles and aspirations. And in politics, capturing imagination is often the first step to capturing power.